Most homes have a few mysteries. Creaking floors, dim hallways, doors that swell with weather. But mine had something far worse. A door that no one remembered building. The first time I noticed it, I was walking down the hallway half asleep when I saw a wooden door where there had always been a blank wall. It wasn't old. It wasn't new. It looked placed, as if someone set it there overnight. I reached out to touch it, and the wood felt warm, like skin, pulsing with a faint heartbeat underneath my fingertips. I asked my family about it the next morning, but they stared at me like I was insane and insisted there had never been a door there. But when I led them to the hallway, the door was gone, replaced again by a normal wall. That night, I woke up to a soft tapping, like someone knocking from inside my house. The Gap, saying my name in a voice that wasn't human.
Last winter, I moved into a century-old apartment building that everyone in the neighborhood avoided. The rent was unbelievably cheap, and I convinced myself that the strange history attached to the place was nothing more than rumors. The first night, as I unpacked in the dim, yellow flicker of the outdated hallway lights, I heard what sounded like soft footsteps pacing in the unit above me. I pretended it was the pipes or old wood settling, but the footsteps were too deliberate, too slow, too heavy to be anything natural. But then, one morning, the painting was lying face down on the floor as if someone had violently pulled it off the hook. For the first few minutes, nothing happened, just the quiet hum of the building and the occasional creak of settling wood.
Yesterday, my apartment had 3 rooms. But tonight, when I came home, there was a 4th door at the end of the hallway, a door I swear has never existed before. I approached it slowly, feeling the air turn cold as if the house itself was holding its breath. I flicked on the light switch, but the bulb only flickered weakly, revealing walls covered in thousands of small handprints, too small to belong to any adult. As I stepped deeper, the floorboards groaned beneath me, and I heard a faint giggle behind my shoulder, though no one was there. The air smelled like old dust and something rotten, something that had been trapped for a long time. I spun around instantly, heart pounding, but the room was empty, silent, watching. The door slammed shut on its own and the lights went out, plunging me into complete darkness.
From the moment I stepped inside the abandoned house, I felt the air tighten around my throat, as if the walls were breathing in sync with my heartbeat. The door behind me creaked shut on its own, and a cold whisper brushed my ear so close I could feel the breath, but no one was there. As I moved deeper inside, the sound of footsteps behind me echoed perfectly with mine, matching step for step until suddenly they kept walking even after I stopped. My breath grew uneven as a shadow stretched across the hallway, not from me, not from the dim light. Something else standing just beyond the corner, waiting. I called out, asking if anyone was there, but the only reply was a slow dragging sound like nails scraping across the wooden floor. When I reached the end of the corridor, the walls pulsed, expanding and contracting like a living organism, and the floorboards beneath me thumped in a steady rhythm as if the house had a heartbeat.
People always talk about haunted forests, abandoned houses, or cursed mirrors, but no one ever warns you about the voices that follow you home. I turned around and, of course, no one was there, only the empty road stretching into darkness. When I finally reached my apartment and locked the door, I pressed my back against it, trying to convince myself it was stress or exhaustion. But then, something breathed directly into my ear. Inside my own home, a slow exhale that froze every muscle in my body. I didn't even dare turn my head, but sleep never came. Instead, the whisper began again, right beside my bed, soft but unmistakably real. You shouldn't have come home alone. My heart stopped. I blinked, and it raised a hand to the glass, pressing against the inside of the reflection, as if trying to push through.
A structure that never appeared in any official city record. It seemed to shift its windows every night as if it were breathing. The only footage left showed him walking down a hallway. The hallway kept stretching longer until the camera went black. The second curse started with a woman known for her unbelievably fluffy pancakes. Everyone who tasted those pancakes began seeing shadows in their mirrors, shadows that moved, even when they stood still. Soon none of them felt hunger anymore. The dragon's ink-drawn eyes began shifting shape. Students heard tiny claws scratching at night. When the janitor tried to burn the dragon, the fire instantly died. The paper creature disappeared. Investigators eventually discovered that all 4 cursed objects were connected to an ancient ritual, hidden within New York's oldest architectural designs. A ritual requiring a structure, food, sound, and a creature to complete its awakening.
The horror began the night a strange radio signal started broadcasting across New York. A faint whispering frequency that no station claimed and no engineer could trace, no matter which floor they lived on. At the same time, a local bakery became famous for its warm, sweet pastries, moving a second too late as if something else was watching from inside the glass. Meanwhile, a teenager found an old pair of headphones on a subway seat, a lullaby that made doors in his apartment open by themselves whenever he fell asleep. The fourth and final sign came from a child's handmade toy, a small wooden animal carved for a school art project, which began showing up in different rooms of the house despite being locked inside a drawer. It scratched tiny symbols into the floors at night. Symbols that matched a forgotten ritual recorded in the city's oldest underground tunnels. And by the time they understood its purpose, the doorway had already opened.